Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jay Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Alessandra Colaci, the founder of Legal Plus AI. Alessandra brings a fascinating mix of expertise in marketing, generative AI, and content creation, over 15 years of experience in AI-driven workflows, and a passion for helping legal professionals adopt secure and practical AI tools. Based in San Francisco, with operations in Austin, Texas, Legal Plus AI, founded in 2023, is revolutionizing how in-house counsel, lawyers, and legal ops teams integrate AI for efficiency, compliance, and specialized tasks. We'll be exploring her journey into the company, how her business empowers clients in the legal AI space, and her vision for scaling this impact-driven venture. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. Alessandra, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. First and foremost, would love to start at the top here for our listeners. Alessandra, if you could take us back to the beginning and really talk about what specific problem in the legal AI landscape really inspired you to become the founder of Legal Plus AI.
Yeah, I've been mostly involved in SaaS companies over the many years of my career that I've been in marketing. And that's been everything from sales tech to MarTech. And once I got into working with some clients that were in the legal tech space, I really was just like, okay, it's a whole different world. It's something that's so unique. And it's been a journey in education because dealing with sales team and marketing teams, obviously, they're also learning AI, but in legal, it's completely different, right? I think as I worked with the SaaS companies across those different verticals, I saw that there were different problems that were needing to be solved, that each team really needed to be activated, engaged, and educated on how to use AI. And that those challenges are pretty unique to legal teams. It's something that is different because of confidentiality and data security, all that kind of stuff, which if I'm talking to a marketing team, it's a very different kind of set of things that they're concerned about. And so I really saw that gap, but I also especially saw that for legal tech companies, it's a matter of how do you educate people? And that's something that's true across really any industry right now, where education is important because it's the very early days of AI, right? I want to fill that gap. I want to be able to teach people about the right kind of use cases, the ways to do it. And that's how I came to that kind of aha moment of, hey, this is something I really want to do. I'm very passionate about.
Love it. I love that. So definitely want to get into the nuts and bolts with you here, Alessandra, because I know a lot of our listeners are in this realm and see the importance behind AI and what it can really do. So walk us through what the core offer really is. I know you have the tailored AI platform for the legal workflows, secure tools for general counsels. Walk us through the offer and the ICP there. We have a good idea, but if you could walk us through, that'd be great.
Yeah, really, I like it to be pretty flexible for what the need is. And so there's some different pillars I consider for the company. And some of it is consulting with legal tech companies and saying helping them with their go-to-market, because obviously that's something I've been involved in. But the really core specialty of our offering is to teach legal teams and to come in and help them with change management, implementation, execution, maybe even discovery of which tool and platform is right for them. And I think it's important for me not to come in with a bias of, hey, I've used this tool or that tool before and say that this is the right one for them, but to come in and just say, hey, let's look at strategically what is important for your team, what kind of workflows are you doing, what would save you the most time, and then be able to create a tailored plan for implementation and rollout for them. And so that's really the focus and the core offering of the company and something that we specialize in.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, I mean, on that front, what are you seeing right now as the main offering that a lot of your clients are really attracted towards the most? What are you really putting most of your attention towards right now?
Yeah, so implementation, change management, and really activation of teams is something that has been the key draw. Sometimes it's the early stages that are before that, so maybe audits or things like that to discover which tools they might want to use. But a lot of times it's something where legal teams have come in and said, we already are using this tool. We want to use it better. How do we really make it effective? And especially if they're already spending a decent amount of money per month or per year on these AI tools, it's something that they want to make sure that it's being used by all the people that have a seat And I think that's really key is like, how do we get maximum usage? How do we get people excited about it? We do like kickoffs and we do that whole thing to really just get people excited. And sometimes that extends to other teams too, right? Some companies come in and they say, yeah, we're talking to you about the legal team, but we want you to just do a general AI kickoff and talk to multiple teams about this because it might be sales, marketing, other teams that legal works with very closely, and just being like, hey, let's all rally around AI and how do we implement and adopt it across teams.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that, I definitely would love to understand a bit more of what's working best for you on the acquisition side, because it sounds like this is more of a new venture that you're getting into and really looking to build and expand upon this. So walk us through what's working best for you when acquiring new clients. What channels have been most effective, whether it's referrals or social media, events, networking, or ads that you're running, and talk a bit about what challenges you're having, especially in this niche.
Yeah, and I think within a lot of these things, they're so evolving that LinkedIn is something that I really put a big focus on because it's something where I can develop a personal brand and a founder brand and a company brand, all those things across that. And I think whether it's someone at a legal tech company or someone like me that is offering like services and consulting around that, LinkedIn is so powerful because you're able to really tap into the community that is interested in that. And I get very excited to meet new people in the legal space. And so they might be in-house or at law firms or people who are in change management or policy. But something that is really important, I think, is to be truly involved, not just to be like that loudspeaker and saying that you're just talking at them, but to really be like commenting and be a part of the communities that you're a part of and that your business is a part of. And so that's been really effective. We haven't tried ads yet, but I think that's something that can be a little bit of an accelerator. And I think right now it's mostly network of a network. And when I first started this, it was more conversations with people in my network to say, are there some referrals is what I'm doing? And I think that was a really powerful method because then it's a warm introduction. And so that worked really well.
Love that. I love that. So, I mean, is have you not tried AI, the ads yet because of where you are right now, or is it something that you're seeing success with the other avenues? What does that look like, and how urgent is it to bring ads into the mix for that more predictable lead generation for them?
Yeah, I think even some of the clients that I'm working with that are on more of the legal tech side that we're consulting for go to market, I think for them, usually the advice I give them, and it's the same that I apply to our company, is that until you've really nailed down who is your ICP, what's the messaging, positioning, what the social proof, all that kind of stuff, I think that it's important to get those things right because otherwise then it can be just a very spendy platform, right, when you're spending money on ads. But I do think it's also a way to tap into the audience at scale. And so obviously my network is limited to what it is. And so I think it's probably very soon thereafter. And then we have some upcoming events that we want to promote that I'm sure I'll do ads around that just because again, it needs to go beyond my network. I do also believe in the power of sponsoring communities and other events and things like that because I think especially within legal, it's a very personal thing and there's a pretty tight knit community around it. And I think that's a good spend of ad spend instead of the traditional like social media ads or paid ads that are more like a PPC kind of model.
Absolutely. So, with that, what would you say is the average time from first touch to sign contract with the channels that you are seeing bringing leads right now?
It's relatively fast, especially because I've developed a bit of a reputation for being known in the space, and it's changing so quickly that I think there's a lot of new, both on the consulting for go to market, but also the legal teams that are coming to us. They're like, hey, there's very few people that specialize in this, right? So it's a very near and present need for them, and they're usually like, hey, we're ready to go. We just need to make sure that we like, what does this look like in terms of the engagement? So it can be anywhere from 2 weeks to like a month. And so like very fast timelines.
Incredible. So, on that same front, there, being that this is still a venture that you're getting fully going here, is this something that you're doing as a solopreneur? Alessandra, do you have a team with you, a sales team, a marketing team, assistants with you? What does that team aspect look like right now in the sales process?
Yeah, so it's mostly me, but I think it's one of those things that I always get the temptation to just do everything myself because it's something that, of course, I've been doing it so much in the past few years of my career. But I pretty early on have brought in an assistant and someone to work on some of the marketing work, the website, And even those are things that I could potentially do myself. I think it's important to leverage what's the best use of my time. Me to be really the educator, the person who's working with clients and talking to them is important, I think, instead of me spending my time on that. And then I do have some people who help on some sales efforts and things like that, but really like on a part-time basis. But I think in the next few months, developing some of these consultants that come on to help with some of the client work to be more like actually in-house and to be people that are employees, I think will be very fast follow.
Absolutely. So with that and the fact that this is founder-led sales and you're running so much on that side, what does that look like as far as what you need to put in to not only run the sales, bring in the deals, close them, but then on the fulfillment side, how does that look? And what is your urgency to bring in some more help on the sales front to put you in a position where you can really be founding and running the fulfillment side of the company?
Yeah, I feel like in some of my past ventures, I've often been like, hey, there's too much of a delay between when I do take that step to bring in some extra help on that. Because a lot of times then I get so deep in the work, working with clients and actually doing the work, that I think then I forget about building the pipeline and building like the future. And even people I'm talking to that are considering starting a business, we had that conversation about the feast or famine. And it's just like when you're deep in the work of working with your clients, you forget that part. So I think it's an important thing for me to consider like pretty shortly, because then I can focus on the client work and then just say, hey, sales is something that is a whole different beast. And then I can have people work on that specifically.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that being said, when you're onboarding a new client with this, what steps can you say tend to stall or cause the most friction for you being founder-led sales?
I just say usually what takes my time is scoping things out, looking at what we're going to do in terms of the project management, the client communication. Those are the things that really take a lot of time. I think that's something that I can provide guidance with, but I'm pretty deeply involved at this point still to be like the one that kind of hands-on keyboard for a lot of that stuff right now. But yes, it's currently the most time consuming part of it.
Yeah. So with that there, bottleneck wise, what are you thinking about that's pretty much top of mind for you? Whether it is, I know you're wanting to add some more predictability on the lead generation side, bringing in more quality clients to speak to, and then again on the sales side, bringing in some help there. What are the bottlenecks that you are thinking about to break through 2025 going into 2026?
Yeah, I mean, I've worked like I mentioned across different types of SaaS companies, so sales tech, martech, and I think when I look at those different areas that we can expand, obviously outbound is something that I think has a lot of power because I used to work at Mailshake, which was an outbound platform, and I think like when you look at that, it's something that can really just add fuel to the fire. So most likely that will be something that I think can be an opportunity area, especially because I think you get the right kind of process and the right kind of outreach, and that can be really impactful. Probably obviously building off of LinkedIn, but building a bit more of a cadence of outreach and follow up and check-ins and things like that with people that are in my network or people that I haven't reached out to. So I think again, that kind of outbound or nurture of warm leads and potential clients is something that's really important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that, I would definitely love to hear a bit more of the top priorities for you here, Alessandra, especially for the rest of this year, going into next, wanting that scale and that growth and that success. Walk us through what you're really laser focused on to achieve that.
I think what's super important, especially in the early days of a company, is getting the social proof, getting the case studies, getting the clients that are going to give really good feedback and say this is their success story. And especially with AI, it's so new, and a lot of companies are wanting to see how did this other legal team actually activate and actually make the success by their team members using it more effectively, all that kind of stuff. So I'm really focused on how do we have successful engagements with clients, how do we help their team use AI better, and then getting multiple assets off the back of that, obviously to videos or blog posts or case studies, that kind of a thing, so that we can have a lot of social proof and be able to show other people and potential clients that we can get the results that they're looking for.
Absolutely incredible there. Talk to me a bit about what in general for the legal AI industry as a whole and its evolution in the coming years, especially with your specialized approach and the way that AI is just continuously improving and getting better. What are you doing to keep yourself at the forefront of that evolution, Alessandra?
Yeah, it's a matter of educating myself first and being able to continue. It's one of those things where it's a bit overwhelming, but to continually be updated on what is the latest AI, whether in the legal industry or outside in terms of the larger models like OpenAI or Claude or any of them, what are their strengths and weaknesses, what new ones are coming out, that kind of thing. Doing a lot of testing. So a lot of it is I test across multiple models or specialized tools within legal that are specific for that use case. And that's really important because it's something that it's always changing. So I like to be able to, first of all, understand that for myself, but also teach my clients this is something you should look at or something you could change in your process or workflows. The other part is agentic is a catchy word that a lot of people are talking about a lot, and it's becoming something that there's a lot of questions around that and confusion. But I think just being able to educate people is really important and teach them that. And I often say that AI is the infinite blank page. And so I think for a lot of these teams, it's like, how do I reduce that friction by making it not feel like an infinite blank page? So that might be certain prompts or things like that they can use that they can just really have a repeatable process. And those are the things I do. But really, it's more continue to learn and educate myself so that I can continue to learn and educate for my clients.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, with that there, I want to take us into the lightning round here, Alessandra. It's been incredible hearing your take and how you're approaching this industry with AI. Just incredible where AI is going. And so cool to hear how you're really mixing it up and changing the scope with that. On this front, what's one tool or resource, Alessandra, that you're utilizing? Maybe it's a generative AI insight, a marketing strategy, an AI tool. What's been the biggest game changer for legal plus AI this far?
One of my favorite tools, of course, is an AI tool because why would it not be? But I do use ChatGPT a lot, but I really love Claude. I think Claude has a lot more personality. It's a lot more creative. It's something where if I'm doing something where I'm doing a bit more of a thought partnership exercise, then it's really good to go. And I will take a copy that I've written and take it into there and say, how can I improve this? And really see how I can make it better and almost like spotting gaps and things like that. Obviously use ChatGPT a lot as well, but that's more for analysis and some of that stuff. That's a tool. Claude, I think, has been really strong for a lot of things I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then last but not least here, Alessandra, what is the best piece of advice that you could offer to our listeners tuning in right now, just heard your incredible journey and everything you're going to do with Legal Plus AI? What can you leave for them before we wrap up the show today?
I'd say just listen to your gut, really do what you think is really important for you to do. And I think don't listen to the naysayers. It's always going to be something where there's going to be naysayers no matter what. A lot of the successful companies out there that are huge right now had a lot of naysayers initially. So just continue down your path and take those risks. Make sure that you listen to your gut and then make those big leaps.
Absolutely. With that, right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. And just want to thank you so much again, Alessandra, for coming on the show, sharing your incredible journey and your insights with myself and the listeners. And as I mentioned, the drive, the passion, the intelligence that you have, it's clear as day. You're going to do some incredible things in this space. And I loved the conversation. So thank you so much again. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And also check out Legal Plus AI at gc.ai for their AI solutions. And follow Alessandra on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Alessandra CO. For more resources and insights, you can visit us here at closers.io, where we are dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth. Until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.